This is your market update for Tuesday, April 19th. All right, we're going to start with the S&P cash daily chart, and we didn't quite hit support here. We actually went through some higher support, but we didn't hit the next decision, which doesn't come in until this 43.59 area. But what we're paying attention to, since that first grouping of cycles did not put in a low, at least more than just a little bouncy low, we're looking at, well, I've got the histogram that shows me the 19th, 20th for a possible reversal back to the upside, but then we also have the outright cycles, which needed to be recalculated today. And again, we've got, let's see, some of the outright cycles. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like we have 6 cycles due between the 18th through the 20th. Okay, so again, we're going to anticipate a possible intermediate low. Doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen, but we're starting to see at least some shorter term buy signals here. Now, does that mean that this market's in great shape? No, it's not, because you're below the 200, you're below the 50 simple moving average, and the 5 and 13 are in a sell mode. So this is absolutely considered counter trend still, and the markets are still vulnerable, but we're going to still look at potential opportunities even if they are counter trend at this point. All right, how about let's see, the S&P futures? We did have a support decision, 43.50 to 53. Now this wasn't a perfect hit. It looks like 43.55 and a half was the actual low. But what I do want you to remember now is the new resistance that's going to be very important to fail or not to fail comes from taking these prior rally swings, projecting them all from this recent low, and also I ran the retracement of this prior high to low swing. So these are the areas that you have to watch for a possible failure. But let's look at it this way. If this is a more important low, we continue to hold, and then we start taking out this symmetry resistance, and it's going to start to look much better, and it's going to start to look like, well, maybe we can actually extend to the upside. So just keep that in mind. But yes, at this moment in time, it is a counter trend decision. As far as the 120-minute chart, let's see, this was not a perfect hit either, but we were close enough to support here. Okay, yeah, the 43.55 and a half. 43.53 and a half was the actual support decision. But now here's the next decisions, to fail or not to fail. I mean, you did see a nice rally off of this low. But, can we continue to clear resistance or not? Because that's what we're going to need to do if it's any good. Now, for now, do you have a sell setup? Absolutely. And it's going to be anywhere between this 44.05 to 44.10 area. You also want to watch that 44.17 for possible resistance. And then, of course, these other areas just above there, just because of the pattern, overall pattern, still bearish on this 120-minute chart. That doesn't really shift unless you take out this prior swing high here. Okay, so you're up against resistance right here, right now. As far as, let's see, well, 30-minute chart is back in a buy mode, and the 15-minute chart's back in a buy mode. So, shorter term charts are starting to look better, but you do have to remember the bigger picture. Now, as far as NASDAQ, we did also have a 1272 extension of a prior low to high swing, looks like. Let's check and see how close that really was. 137.88 versus 137.80. Yeah, that's close enough as far as support. I also did add a projection of one of these prior high to low swings projected from this last high, and that comes in a little bit lower, but there is some, support here. Moving averages are not on the side of the bulls, so it's absolutely counter trend. And let's see what else. As far as the adjusted cycles, since we did have the holiday, we've got the 18th through the 21st, but I'd say the bulk of the cycles are the 18th through the 20th. And again, we're going to anticipate a possible low and reversal back up via the daily work. As far as the June contract and futures, NASDAQ, we went a little bit through this symmetry support here, but I do want to give you the resistance decisions again, same type of thing. If this low is any good, it would need to start pushing through all this stuff. Otherwise, you have to look at these same areas for a possible failure and sell entry. 120-minute chart. Let's see. Yeah, next decisions on the upside would be like this 140.54 to 140.79. 141.11, a couple other areas after that. Just be aware that this time frame chart is still actually bearish along with the daily charts. It's just the short-term charts that are giving us some buy decisions. All right, how about, okay, IWM. I have some, well, there's more of a standout timing the 22nd, 23rd with that histogram, but we do have some, let me just double check this. We do also have some minor cycles right in here. So tomorrow, and then as far as the outright cycles, I don't have that much here. Just we have one cycle on the 19th and one on the 20th. I would have to go through this chart again to see if I could find any other levels, but you do at least have some timing. As far as support, I don't really have anything on the daily till 194.11. And then as far as the 30-minute chart, now this is kind of interesting because you can't see this on the daily chart, but we had some symmetry here. Now this is not a perfect hit, but it's close. This high to low, 592. This high to low, 584. Okay, so basically I just projected that from here, and you know, if that low is any good, I mean, we've held so far, potential on the upside would be here to that 203.96 area. I'm wrong if it breaks the symmetry. All right, and that's pretty much it for those. Let's take a look at the stock charts. So as far as Apple, it did take out that old setup. Okay, so that didn't end up holding. The only thing I really added today was 100% of this first swing down. Okay, and honestly, you know, I am not an Elliott wave expert, but kind of looks like 5 ways down, and that's into timing and price support. So want to watch, you know, this will be considered a counter trend decision against that symmetry support. I'm gonna kill that damn bug. Shit. Okay, anyway, and then as far as the 30-minute chart in Apple, yeah, it pretty much shows, you know, counter trend support. If you want to look at the sell side, these are the areas that you're going to want to watch on the way up. But if we start getting through most of that, then I won't be focusing on the sell side anymore. All right, how about Amazon on the daily chart held the original time and price decision back here. That was made on the, what, the 13th? Was it? Let's just double check. Okay, yeah, on the 13th. So we had the timing, the 11th through the 13th, so that's hanging in there. So that's a decision, but again, this is also counter trend. I mean, it's not like the old days where a lot of the charts looked really good and had all the moving averages on the right side. We're not in that place at this point, so it's not going to be as easy. So this, I'm still going to consider this a decision. If we hold above it, you can look for your new buy triggers. Potential, let's say if that became a more important low, the big if, then potential target would be to the 1272 extension, which would be right in here. Okay. All right. And then as far as Amazon, this is still in a sell mode on the 30-minute chart, but it's not that far away from potentially crossing back to the upside. So if we can hold this recent low and then get the crossover, then I think you can get a move going in Amazon, even though it is counter trend. As far as Facebook, we are looking at this support for possible new buy entries because we have time and price. Timing the 18th, 20th, price the 205, 209 area. Do we have a trigger? No. So be patient. And then as far as resistance, starts with this 212.34 to 212.46 area. And then it looks like 212.85 to 213.09. All right. How about Google? So Google finally tested the support. Actually, we went slightly through at 25.23.64. The symmetry came in at 25.24. So, you know, that's close enough. We're on support. We have timing the 18th through the 20th for a possible low. Again, just be patient for your buy triggers and remember that this is counter trend. As far as the 30-minute in Google, still in a sell mode. Don't really have anything on this chart until a bit above the market, 25.75 to 77. And let's see, NVIDIA, I added some extensions of just this little minor low to high swing. So your decision here right now is really going to be this 208.75 to 212.39. Timing, we've got the 20th through the 22nd, so we're not quite there yet as far as the timing's concerned, but we do have a key support decision there, and it is counter trend. As far as NVIDIA on the 30-minute chart, this did not actually hit support, but let's see if it was close enough. It was made at 215.03. Yeah, I'd say that was close enough. But I do like this zone. If we can hold above it, then I think you can get another swing up in this one. If we break underneath it, though, not so much. Tesla. As far as Tesla is concerned, it's close to support, 954.66. I have timing the 18th through the 20th for a possible low. So, again, wait for your triggers. I don't think I have... Oh, actually, Tesla did trigger to the upside with the 834. Okay. Anyway, if this low is any good, then your first target's going to be up here, the 1272 extension at 1019. So be aware of that. As far as gold is concerned, I have timing, a lot of timing for a possible high, the 19th through the 21st. Okay, so we're within 1 day of that. Just be aware of that. And as far as the 120-minute chart, yes, I do still have a new buy decision for you. Let's look at 1978 to 1979.90. A couple areas underneath that, 1970.30 to 1972.40. Would look at that. If we hold those areas, you can look for buy triggers there. Crude oil, we're in the June contract. Actually, I didn't do any timing for a high. So let me just take a quick look and see. Ooh, we've got something the 19th to be aware of. That's the prior high to high. This low to low, that won't come in for a bit. And let's see. Maybe this low to this low. That comes in on the 21st. Looks like the 19th through the 21st we may have some resistance, but know that if these last lows are more important, then the potential upside targets are still way higher. And this is your immediate resistance, the 786. As far as the 120-minute chart, we do have support that we're pulling back into. A couple of different areas to look at for possible new buy entries. But if we start breaking all that symmetry, then we have to be prepared for a deeper downside correction. And that's pretty much it. You already have that same support on this 120-minute. Any of the extra charts, I will go over those with you tomorrow, and I will see you then.